Sports reporter. Turn it all the way up.
Everybody, listen up. Everybody, stop what you're doing and listen to the
Alpha male.
What's going on, everybody? You already know what time it is. It is me. He is I, and I am him. I am he that they call the Alpha Male. Let's go ahead and get myself situated. Can you see me? Can you see me? Yes, you can. All right, here we go. Whew. I know you were there. I know I was there. Well, I wasn't there physically. You did what I'm saying, but we all saw it. We all saw it. Now, for those of you who have heard the show, of course, I had a lot of comments and stuff, friends and family, and listeners along who heard the interview between myself and former UGA cornerback DeMario Mentor. He called it. He literally called it. I asked him, I was like, hey, DeMario, what is it? What is it? Is it going to be a blowout? Is it going to be a tight game? Is it going to be an upset? Can you see? Like, we dissected it all prior to, of course. But I don't think anybody was able to call this 65-7. Arguably one of the most lopsided national championship games of all time. And it was just something. It was a sight to see, man. Stetson Bennett, I mean, just incredible, great play. Got a lot of questions to ask today. And I've already prepped it a little bit on my Instagram Live today. And I'm ready to go ahead and just jump right into it, Doc. It is Alpha Male Sports. And today we are talking about the Dawgs. The Dawgs. What kind of dogs? The UGA Dawgs. And so I have been blessed with the opportunity of having another dog, okay? Another dog. And of course, there's always going to be the hometown ties. Of course, he's a 701 Stevenson High School representative, a Stevenson High School legend. And it's impeccable that I have this gentleman on because I believe he will be able to give us some insight, because I have a few more questions that I got to ask outside of just, the TCU thing. The gentleman has played a number of years in the NFL. He's had his opportunities there as well. And so we're going to be jumping into a few things, but I mean, started as true freshman at the University of Georgia, put up some great numbers, went on into the NFL to have a nice career, a really decent career. And I mean, arguably one of my favorite running backs that I was able to see high school, college, and the NFL, none other than Kregg Lumpkin. Ladies and gentlemen, Kregg Lumpkin is in the building. What's going on, Doc?
What's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, brother, man? How you holding up, man?
Ain't nothing much. How about you?
Doc, I am loving it. And not only am I just excited about this whole situation, but Doc, 65-0. Like, let's start there. Let's start at 65-0, and let's dial it back from there. Where were you when this happened, for one, and for two, would you have been able to have called this game?
So I was at home with my wife and 4 boys, and was all watching the game. And man, you really couldn't call it because of what TCU has done, what they did leading up to the championship game, and you was expecting, them to give it but
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And it's even better now that we have the national championship series or playoff series, where it's set up to where the best is going to play each other either way. And of course, we know now that people are kind of clamoring about there being more teams added, because it seems to be not necessarily lopsided or unfair, but you want to get the best product. You want to get the best product on the field, and we got the best product. In my opinion, I felt as though the best games were played in the 2 rounds prior to, the Ohio State versus UGA and TCU versus Oklahoma. I feel like those were the best 2 games that went on so far. And so now we have a situation. Let me take my hat off. It is hot. But we're in a situation now where we have UGA. I mean, just I can't say it enough, man. You guys showed out. So how does it feel? Like, what is it like in dog country? Like, I know you've gotten calls. You got a call from me, especially. What is it like in dog country right now, Doc?
I mean, it's like heaven. I mean, it's a great feeling to go back to back. You know, being a former UGA football player and just knowing how much time they put in the work to get to where they were, and continue to go on. Next year, we're expecting big things again.
And that brings me to my next question, Doc. As far as the University of Georgia Bulldogs, because it was about 40, I would say about 41 years since their last national championship. Now, I'm going to read a couple stats to you, not from the national championship per se, but back-to-back national champions. That doesn't happen quite often. The last one that I can remember was back in 2003 and 2004 when the University of Southern California went back-to-back national championships. Now, at that time, that was the BCS Bowl Championship Series. And of course, you were playing around that time as well. But other teams, Nebraska 1994, 1995, Oklahoma 1955 and 1956, Notre Dame 46 and 47, and Army 44 and 45. So UGA has joined the ranks of these teams. Like, how does that feel knowing that the University of Georgia has stapled itself as a top tier? Well, it's already been a top tier program, but how does it feel knowing that you guys have gone back to back and arguably possibly could go 3 for 3?
It's a great feeling, just knowing that, everybody's believing to Coach Smart and the coaching staff, and just believing in themselves and believing in the process. Trust the process, and then you get good results like that, like they have been and will continue to do.
Where do we go? Well, what's next for Coach Kirby Smart? What is next for him? I mean, of course, the word is already out. Everybody's already saying we beat Bama. Bama is out of the picture now. Bama's no longer there. We don't have to worry about the University. As a matter of fact, Georgia is now the new Bama, which sounds crazy. I don't like that. How do you feel when you hear those questions, but those statements from other people, even some fans of the University of Georgia, where they're like, we're the new Bama now? I would assume you would feel some type of way about that.
I mean, we're at the top right now. You got people coming. They want that top spot. Wherever you are, whether it's football or in that top spot, they're gonna come for you in any form or fashion.
Now, in your time at the University of Georgia, you played. I'm not sure how many times you. What is your record versus Alabama, if you don't mind me asking?
2000. I think it's 2. I think I won twice against them. I know one time in Tuscaloosa, and I think we beat them at home. I can't remember though.
Probably like a home and home type deal, I assume. Solid. So what's next for Coach Kirby Smart? Where do we go from here? He's already done I wouldn't say the impossible, but he did what no other coach outside of Coach not Coach Riggs. That was your head coach. Coach Vince Dooley, rest in peace, Coach Vince Dooley. But he did what only Coach Dooley did. He went on to win a national championship, but he's done it twice. Where do we staple Coach Kirby Smart as far as ranked coaches in the University of Georgia?
I mean, he's up there. He's up at the top. I remember when he was my running back coach in 2005. And just as fiery as he is, as you see him on TV, he was like that in the meeting room. He wanted you to know.
So he was on the staff when you were there, correct?
Correct. He was my running back coach for 1 year, and he made sure you knew what you were supposed to be doing when you was out there and not having any mistakes. So he would jump on you in the meeting room, jump on you on the field, just to make sure you are doing what you're supposed to be doing. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Alpha Male Sports. We have none other than Kregg Lumpkin, former University of Georgia Bulldog, former
I want to say what? Yeah, Green Bay Packer, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Seattle Seahawks, and we'll get into some NFL talk if that's okay with you, because I have a couple of questions in regards to that. But I mean, again, we're talking about the Dogs, national champions. Now, Kregg, I had to go back into a little bit of I had to do not research, but I had to go back and pull some film. I want you to tell me how you feel when you hear this.
Green back to work. And to add to this 34-7 lead. Bouncing off the pack. Inside the 5. Diving. Touchdown. Kregg Lumpkin. 22 yards for the true freshman.
True freshman, Kregg Lumpkin. Do you remember the game? Do you remember that? Do you remember that call?
I believe that was Tennessee game.
Damn, this guy. All right, that's it. That's absolutely that's it. So you remember the play, I assume.
I do. Again, I was just out there, excited to be out there because Georgia stays with a stable of running backs, so it's always competition, and when you get your opportunity, you got to take advantage of it.
So walk us through the play, because it already shows you guys were up 30 some odd points or 20 some odd points, 23 points to be exact. And you're just coming in as a freshman. Walk us through your time there at that specific point in time, because I know that you were a freshman, so you weren't necessarily starting, but walk us through that time.
I can't remember the exact play, but just I think it was off a run play off to the left. And when I got the ball, I made the best of my opportunity. And all I could think was I might not get a chance again to get in the end zone where you can.
So now your time there, though, because I know around your junior season was the breakout year. The junior season was the breakout, or the sophomore.
It was junior.
It was a junior season. So the junior season, of course, was. Say that again.
I was saying my sophomore year, I tore my ACL.
That's right. Absolutely. I don't know why it seems like whenever somebody says ACL, it's just like a taboo thing. You never want to say anything about ACL. But yeah, your junior season was the breakout season, but it was also the time where Georgia had the stable. You had the gentleman from Tucker High School. Help me out with the name. Davis, correct? Thomas Brown. And y'all had a stable. You guys had a stable. Walk me around that time and help me understand what it was like in the running back room at that point in time.
So even going back before then, you had Tony Milton, Michael Cooper, Tyson Browning, Ronnie Powell, Albert Hollis, and Chris Burnett. Then you had myself, Thomas, Danny. Then you had myself, Thomas, and Noshawn. So it's always been a stable of running backs.
For sure. Noshawn Marino, I can't forget that.
But yeah, just during that time, it was always it was friendly competition. We always pushed each other to make each other better. And then, like I said, once you get on the field, you better make the best of your opportunities because it's not guaranteed you're going to get back out there.
Wow. It didn't seem like it, though. It seemed like you guys were all, like you said, it's friendly competition, but it was like everybody had, you made things happen. You had your bowling ball, the guy that just bam through. You also had your light. That was like thunder, lightning, and something like a little bit of rain. It was just a consistent downpour of just running the ball. And so now it seems so different to see the University of Georgia air it out and have receivers take off the top and whatnot. Do you think as time changed, Georgia somewhat adapted to the new way of a new style of football?
Of course. Why would you not? I mean, you got so many different defensive minds that are planning to stop the run to make you air it out, and then have a great defensive line or linebackers and DBs to put you in pressure to where you have to make those certain throws. So just having a balanced offense like Georgia does, I mean, you never know if they're going to run, screen, or pass you to death.
Now, your time at University of Georgia, you've had excuse me for sweating. I swear I can't help it. But anyway, your time at the University of Georgia, you played with quarterbacks to You had, I'm sorry, Matthew Stafford. You had DJ Shockley. So you've played with quarterbacks that have left a staple there and have made a name for themselves from the University of Georgia, but it doesn't seem like it's the same lure as Stetson Bennett. For some reason, it just seems like Stetson holds more weight. And he essentially because he's done something that they could not do, which was win not only one but two. He won two in a row. Is it fair to say he would be the greatest UGA quarterback of all time?
You can't say that because his time is leaving, and then what could the next few quarterbacks do? We got number one, was it Vandergriff?
Vandergriff is coming in. Yeah.
I think Beck as well, and then you have other quarterbacks coming in to try to make their own staple and do even better than what Stetson's done. Stetson had that come from the mud type mentality where I'm gonna prove you wrong.
He for sure was a walk on, definitely was a walk on, and came in and proved himself. Had to beat out some pretty big names and pretty big transfers coming from other schools, and expected to do what he did. But I mean, for right now, though, just as we sit right now, can we say that? I mean, I am trying to pull it up out of you. Like, could we say that he might be a little bit, kind of maybe?
No, I'm not gonna say that because I played with some great ones. I mean, David Green, DJ Shockley, Joe Couch, Joe Shinsky, Matthew Stafford, and you got to think of the ones before even them that kind of paved the way. Eric Zier, Mike Bobo, which was the quarterback coach and offensive coordinator when I was there. So I mean, everybody has their own staple at University of Georgia. Stetson Bennett has put his stamp as far as winning 2 national championships, and to do what he's done, becoming a walk-on to, the starting quarterback and then winning 2 national championships.
I like it. I mean, that's about as best as I'm gonna get out of it because I mean, in true, he made his own name for his own story. So respect, I give you that. I understand. Though you played in the NFL, and of course you played with quarterbacks. Of course you have to play with quarterbacks. You're a running back, but you played in the NFL, and I even spoke with a former teammate of yours from high school and college, Demario Mentor, and the question comes up about, well, how does it translate to the NFL? And I pose the question to you: how do you see this translating to the NFL? I don't expect him to go as a first, third, fourth, fifth rounder. I don't necessarily see that, but I understand, like you said, he has to come from the mud mentality. I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to show you what I can do. Where do you see this going? And we can't predict it, but in a way we can kind of hopefully guess it out. Where do you see this possibly going for Stetson Bennett going into the NFL?
I see it as if he gets an opportunity. Again, he'll all 32 teams, and then whoever decides to choose him or pick him, then he'll get into their offense and quarterback room and make a name for himself. He's gonna go out there on the field to compete like anybody and everybody who has that opportunity to get to the NFL does.
Ladies and gentlemen, you already know what time it is. It is me. He is I, and I am him. I am he that they call the alpha male. And of course, you already know we got the dog, Kregg Lumpkin, in the building with me. Kregg, I'm gonna wear that out. I ain't gonna let you know. I'm letting you know right now. I'm gonna wear that the hell out. I mean, seriously, I'm gonna wear it out because it's not too many times I've seen here, especially in the state of Georgia, as much excitement around a specific team. The Falcons couldn't generate that. The Braves, I mean, God, Lord knows they couldn't generate that. Unfortunately, the Hawks just will never get that together. So UGA is like a second professional team. New York has 2 teams on every sport. California has 2, 3, 4 teams in every sport. So for us in this little small corner of the world, we feel as though UGA is, they are their own sports national, their own professional team. Now, I will ask you, where does this UGA team rank as far as dynasties are concerned. I mean, again, we throw the word dynasty out, and I just named out the last team that won 2 in a row, which in my opinion is arguable. Around the same time the USC won the national championship in 2003, if I'm not mistaken, Auburn was up for that as well, correct?
I believe so.
Right. So, yeah. Say it again.
I said I believe so. I can't remember.
Yeah, because again, it was around the time where the computers was involved in all of the rankings and stuff like that, and whatever. So we know now that I think it's a little bit of a better model now. And of course, next year there's going to be open to more than just 4 teams. It's going to be open to 12 teams now. But where do you see this team as just in history as far as the University of Georgia Bulldogs? Like, could they surpass? Could they do a three-peat? Could they go on and surpass the University of Alabama? Because I argued with one of my friends earlier. I had to tell him, I was like, the idea of them, we're better than Bama. Of course they're better than Bama, but they have yet to surpass the 2 decades that Nick Saban has practically ran the national scale as far as college football. Where do you see this team led by Kirby Smart? Could you see them possibly surpassing what Nick Saban has done?
I do. If everybody stays together and again believe in the process, work together, continue to work together, and play as a team, a unit. I mean, and then continue to get the top recruits in that believe and buy into what Coach Smart is preaching and teaching, and the rest of the coaching staff. I mean, the sky's the limit.
Definitely. I have to admit, I was never really a University of Georgia Bulldog fan, to be honest. Nothing against you, nothing against you at all. It's just it's kind of like a thing where when everybody's on one thing, it's kind of like okay, I get it. Like peach cobbler, everybody loves peach cobbler. I'm not necessarily a fan of it. So you are too?
Yeah.
Really?
You don't like peach cobbler?
Lord knows I can't stand it. Like fruit shouldn't be that soft and warm at the same time.
It's so good though.
Yeah, with some ice cream. That's why I substituted for apple pie.
I eat that too.
Right. Craig said he'll eat it. He'll eat any of it. So just if you have it, get it for him. He has it. Craig, thank you for coming on with me, Doc. And before you go, I do have to ask about another teammate of yours who is in the news. And in my opinion, I'm quite tired of seeing him in the news. I would prefer that he decide in either way he goes. We're talking about Aaron Rodgers. You did, of course, play with the Green Bay Packers for I think about a year, correct?
2 years.
2 years. 2 years. Played with the Green Bay Packers for 2 years, and I ain't gonna front. I was waving the Kregg Lumpkin flag at home. I was like, oh yeah, he's in. So we have a situation where it seems like we've seen this before. Okay, Brett Favre is in, and Rodgers is sitting on the sideline waiting for his turn. Brett Favre is holding Green Bay hostage, and yet as soon as he does leave, then of course the Aaron Rodgers era starts, and now we see Aaron Rodgers is towards the end. We don't know if he's going to leave or not. He holds us in limbo every single season. He just held the Green Bay Packers in limbo last year, forced them to give him another contract, but now we're still unsure as far as where he goes from here. Where do you see this happening? I feel like he should go ahead and retire, but I feel like he might pull another Brett Favre and force his way out of Green Bay to play with another team.
I say because when I play with Aaron, he's a great mind. He helps you out so much in understanding what he's looking for, what the coaching staff is looking for, and how the offense should run on timing schedule. Again, a great person, but when it comes that time, people either want to be surrounded by talent that he can use to get to the next level, which is at the Super Bowl, and or want the money. So I mean that's a choice of his, it's hard for me to speak on it because I'm no longer in it.
I mean, we know, and we know the belly of the beast as far as the NFL. The likelihood of having the career that he's had is very short and slim. You know, it's almost a matter of course, we use this euphemism a lot, but inches. It's a lot. It's a game of inches. You know, it could be, you know, one could be you made a first down and you lost the championship. It could just be that finite of a margin. So we get it, you know, but I'm a fan, and I'm admittingly saying this as a fan. It's like, goodness gracious, we're tired. And I can only imagine what it is like for a player in the locker room. You know, I'm not sure if you were around when or was in the league at the time that Brett Favre was doing, but have you seen this before? And if so, what is the locker room like when things like this happen? I know that there's a thing where you say you're not supposed to talk about contracts and nobody else's money, but goodness, the uncertainty can be a little rigid, don't you think?
Yeah, so I was coming in during that time of when Brett Favre was deciding whether he was going to retire or you know, I guess go to another team. So, but in the locker room, again, I wasn't drafted. So my main focus was to learn that playbook and make sure when I get out on the field, I don't have any blunders or mistakes. Because again, coming undrafted or coming to the team undrafted and not knowing whether you're going to make it to that next Tuesday or not is the mindset of that I had.
Ladies and gentlemen, you already know what time it is. It is me, he is I, and I am him, I am he that they call the Alpha Male. We are here with the dog, Kregg Lumpkin, running back for the University of Georgia, running back for the Green Bay Packers, running back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, running back for the Seattle Seahawks, played some great years in the NFL. I was fortunate enough to see that. And again, we share the same bloodline as far as Stevenson High School is concerned. Before you go, you know, I always mess with all the alumni from the school and whatnot. Who had the greatest year at Stevenson? What class? You know, I came from the class that went to the state semifinals versus Lowndes County. So, you know, I'm always going to champion for us, but you guys set the tone for us. You know, so who had the best?
2003 was the best class. 03. Hands down, the best class ever out of Stevenson High School.
Okay, it was you. That was you, Rayshawn.
Me, Reggie Ball.
Yep.
Joseph T.J. Gartrell, which is Coach Gartrell's son. Israel Root. I can't. I'm coming to Roderick Rogers.
Yeah.
I mean,
most I think all the guys you named, you know, if not drafted, did go. And again, you guys said, I will say, you set the tone. I give you that. You set the tone. But I'm just saying, you know, for us, you know, coming up under you, not Craig, but Kelvin Shepard, Harry Riley, Jermaine Cunningham, Marcus Ball, Reggie's younger brother, myself, of course, I was a kicker, but you know what I'm saying? I was in the mix too. You know, yeah.
But you can't. I'm not going to dismiss the 02-01 class because I played with them as well. Theron Dudley, Arthur Adams, Stephen Tooks, Tony Tiller. I mean, you can't dismiss all them because they set the tone for us. We just kind of spiced it up a little bit more, and I guess y'all took the reins after us. You know, we could never make it. We couldn't get to that over that hump. Where we trying to get to.
We tried to. I'll say this: it felt good to be able to stamp our name as far as setting a record. You know, 3 times in the Dome we played that season, my junior season. And yeah, you named some heavy hitters. Theron Dudley, of course, still holds the Georgia State record as far as rushing yards. So I mean, as far as DeKalb County holds the record for DeKalb County rushing yards of all time. So I always tip my hat to him whenever I do see him at home games and things of that such. Before you go, what is Kregg Lumpkin up to now, man? What's going on now? How is life? You know, I know you said you have 4 boys. Are they interested? Are they intrigued? Are they playing golf? I don't know. You tell me.
All right, so I am the training chief with Newton County Fire Service in Covington, Georgia, and I'm married with 4 boys, 12-year-old, 9-year-old, and 4-year-old twins. my two oldest are in basketball, football, and baseball. So I don't want them to play football, but that's what they want to play, and they are excelling at it, and they love it. So I can't take them out of it because they love it. So I'm just going to enjoy them. Let them find out exactly what they want to do in life, and make sure that they stay up to grade on their grades and
Yeah,
education.
I was not much of a grade guy. Just want to point that out. I was not much of a grade. No, not me. But I mean, for you, I know being a dad. What do you do to get away from do you play golf? By any chance, do you play? For some reason, it feels like all football players just somehow transition into golf. For some reason, random question, but just thinking about it.
My hobby is bowling, so that is my go-to thing. Just to relax, kick back, and just have fun.
Solid, solid. Ladies and gentlemen, you all know what time it is. It is me. He is I, and I am him. I am he that they call the alpha male, and we are here with none other than the dog. National champions, University of Georgia, man. We gracious to have Kregg Lumpkin, man. Thank you again for coming through and blessing Alpha Male Sports, brother. I will definitely be keeping it up with you, man. And we wouldn't mind having you back, especially going into next season, because I'm telling you, we got to keep in touch as far as with UGA and the possibility of them three-peating. We have to keep this up because I'm telling you, it's going to be a whole nother world.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate it, Doc. Thank you so much. And we'll be back in touch, Doctor.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you already know what time it is. It is me, he is I, and I am him. I'm he that they call the alpha male. I am sweating. Can't you see it? Can't you see it? It's so hot in here. But as you can see, man, the University of Georgia, they're national champions. Again, I was fortunate enough to have two University of Georgia Bulldogs on the show. Last week, of course, was DeMario Mentor. This week, of course, is Kregg Lumpkin. They were able, and as I said before, DeMario Mentor called it. He said it was going to be a blowout. Yeah. So as I close, man, I want you all to know, man, that we will be turning up, and just turning up the heat. As you can see, I'm hot right now. Imagine what it's going to be like in the next couple of weeks, couple of months, couple of years. Oh yeah, we going up, y'all. Alpha Male Sports, we're going up. Make sure that you stay tuned. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Follow me on all of my social media. You can follow me on Twitter at Alpha Male Sports, all one word. You can find me on Instagram at Alpha Male Sports, all one word. You can find me right here on YouTube at Alpha Male Sports, all one word. Just make sure that you guys tune in because I'm telling you, you do not want to miss any of this. You do not want to miss any of this. It's Alpha Male Sports, people. The Alpha Male.